Two things. One, I'm a Lakers fan. I want LeBron, as a Lakers fan, I want LeBron to load manage because I'd like the Lakers to win a championship. If I were a Clippers fan, I'd be happy what they're doing with Kawhi. If I was a Raptors fan, I'd have been happy last year. You're talking about the business ethics and the business interests and thinking about basketball as a whole and the NBA's future and all that. But competitively, from the fans of the team's point of view, they're trying to win. As I said, okay, everyone, here are your teams, go. And Jalen, of course, you're right. Baseball's not basketball, not as many playoff berths. You can't dominate the game with one player, et cetera. I'm talking about among teams that have a genuine shot to win. So that's number one. I don't want to hear when the Clippers win the whole thing, well, it's not fair, Kawhi load manage. They're going to wind up winning the whole thing. He'll be finals MVP. I don't want to hear these excuses. That's one. Two, they share a building, y'all. And if it does come down to Lakers, Clippers, who cares who has home court? It's not going to matter. It's the same arena. Believe me, the Lakers fans are going to be there regardless. This is a season where home court really probably, with the exception of maybe Denver, right? You want to get a better record than Denver, probably means less than it has in previous seasons.
There are probably, and I was writing down the names as you gentlemen were speaking, there are probably 11 guys in the history of basketball who have been notable champions that have done it like multiple times. You know, starting with Russell, Magic, Bird, Bad Boy Pistons, Hakeem the Dream, Tim Duncan, Shaq, Kobe, Bron, Wade, the Golden State Warriors. Max, you can't only go by who wins the championship and dismiss the playoffs and dismiss the regular season, because all-time greatness is about endurance as well. That's why people feel like MJ's the GOAT, because he brought it in the regular season, he brought it in the playoffs, and he brought it in the finals. So if you don't skip steps, that's ultimately how you earn the respect of the people and earn respect of your peers. Yeah. It's not only about the championship. Here's why. A guy like Chris Paul, a guy like if Barry Bonds played for the Yankees, he have a World Series. But he didn't play for the Yankees. Chris Paul approaches the game like a champion. Right. He may not win a ring, but he's a champion. There are a lot of people that play with the guys that I just named that are walking around with championship rings.
They weren't champions. But let me say this to you, and I think you'll appreciate this point where I'm going with this, Jalen. You know, one of the things that I think folks should be very disturbed about, back in the day, it wasn't that much money in the sport, okay? And it almost seems like the more money you get, the more you've insulated yourself from having to be concerned about your financial future, because monetarily speaking, you're in a pristine position compared to what it used to be. Mm-hmm. The more excuses there is to take games off. It's like that's backwards. The fact of the matter is, the more money that's available out there should be less of an excuse for you to justify taking time off, because the money's coming.
I'm going to tell you what that is, Stephen A. Watching this Sunday's All-Star game was the first time in like 15 or 20 years I felt like players were investing back into the game.
Yes,
based on exactly what you just said.
That's right.
Because in that period of time you were describing, players knew that you had to grow the game so you could get the TV contracts, the shoe contracts, you could get the notoriety that the players currently have. And so it is up to you to put something back in the pot. And that ain't load managing. It's showing up on a nightly basis if you're healthy and ready to go, and not devaluing the regular season.
Especially when you see what the effects of it's having on the game itself over the last couple of years.
It's hurting the game. Of course, you have to find an equilibrium eventually. Like in Major League Baseball, they load manage. It's innings counts and pitch counts. Once upon a time, relief pitchers went 2 and 3 innings every time, sometimes more every time they came out. Then Tony La Russa realized, I want Eckersley to pitch more often. I'm going to protect him. He was load managing, really. Pitchers, I agree. It went overboard with starting pitchers pitching 4 or 5 innings and the game. But I don't think we're there yet with basketball. I agree with you, Jalen, about the All-Star game. I just don't think, look, who invented load managing in the modern NBA? Greg Popovich. Do we look at Duncan any differently? Because sometimes those dudes would not even go on road trips. Greg Popovich is like, my job's to try and win the title. I'm trying to win the title. The commissioner was trying to get involved at that point.
Hold on. You don't look at Tim Duncan that way. You know why you don't look at Tim Duncan that way? Because of Greg Popovich. With Greg Popovich, remember that that time Greg Popovich filled out the sheet, old age or whatever it was?
old, yeah.
Old, right? That's what he said. He didn't even say DRB old, right? So, no, everyone knew it wasn't Tim Duncan. You can't have players out here, living with a smile on their face, sitting on the bench. I'm taking a night off when the paying customers coming out there to see you play. You can't do that to them.
Let me say one thing about that real quick. I apologize for the delay but let me say one thing about that real quick. Popovich didn't do that for Kawhi eventually. Kawhi wanted to load manage more than Popovich. There was a rift. Kawhi left. The Spurs are also ran since then. Kawhi load managed in Toronto and won a championship, and he's doing it again now.
I remember coming on this show saying Kawhi was unhappy with the Spurs.
Yep.
And it wasn't because of load management, because they misdiagnosed his injury.
That's correct.
And I also remember coming on the show picking the Toronto Raptors to win the championship. And it wasn't because Kawhi load managed they won. And I'm going to be real with you. It's because the Golden State Warriors had Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson out.
Thank you.
That's why they won.
Thank you.
It wasn't because of load management.
Shoot.
But no one could beat that team if they were healthy. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.